Hello everyone. So today we are going to continue with our dialogue system. So what we are going to work on is like now how to have different camera angles for each time when the dialogue is taking place. So when I decide to talk, I have three options: who are you, don't be afraid, and what happened to you. So if I select one of the choices, let's select don't be afraid.
My appearance, but it means nothing.
So this for each of these dialogue, like I have two different level sequences here that focus on the character who is talking. So
I told you. I have nothing to worry about. Just tell me. What do you tell me? What do you need to do?
so you see, as the character talks, the camera looks at the currently talking character, and after the dialogue is ended, we return to the normal game camera. And since I have set up those with with level sequences, you can have different camera effects like camera pannings, or you can have like depth of field changes or any other effect that you have that is available with the level sequences. So today let's see how to integrate multiple level sequences to the dialogue system. And this episode is sponsored by this generous patron. Thank you very much for your support. Okay, so at the moment when I start a conversation, we have this fixed camera angle, but after that it doesn't really change. So when each character talks, I want to focus the camera on the face of the character who is doing the talking. So to do that, how can we do that? Alright, first so we already have this level sequence conversation which focus the characters in an angle like this. So I'll create two more sequences that look at the face of each character. One is like this, and maybe another one is like this perhaps. Right, so let's create that now. Let cinematic level sequence under sequences C1, which stands for conversation 1. If NPC, so focusing, this one will be focusing on the NPC character. Let's create a camera. And look at this character like this. Focus method settings. Let's disable it so that we can clearly see the character. And add a key for the transform here for this camera. And we need to keep this angle looking at the camera for the entire length that this character do the talking. So therefore, just like in the previous level sequence, I'll call the pause. We called an event here on the third person NPC. The event is pause. I can't see the event, but I can see it here. This one, pause sequence. Right, now when we have multiple sequences, we will have to have a different way to access the current sequence. Let's look into that later. First, let me add this actor into the sequence. I don't need any of these things, only the third person character NPC image is needed. Here let's add an event trigger. Let's add the event like here. Bind pause sequence. Right. Similarly, I'll create another level sequence. C1 player. This one will be focusing on the player. Let's use an angle like this. Let's set the focus distance to 200 centimeters so we can see the character properly. And add a transform key here. Right, and also we need a reference to the NPC character to pause this angle as well, pause this sequence as well. So let's select the character, add actor to sequence, delete the not required parts, and add a event track. The key, agent. Wait, which one is this? save and close the sequencer. We don't need that anymore. Alright, now let's go to our data structure where we keep the dialog data, and for each dialog, how is the current structure? So for each dialog we have this player text, response text. We can actually define something like player sequence that we can use to define or set the level sequence camera which focus on the player, and then NPC sequence which focus on the NPC character. Before that, let me go to the HUD and in the choices we have play sound, focus on player, focus actor. Right. So here this is sequence, and I'll add a new variable in the same type, level sequence actor. I'll call it a focus sequence or sequence P. Player, right? Then sequence NPC. In the type, level sequence act. Right. Okay, this is not visible here. I think I have to reload the level. Still not visible. But it's not showing up. Let me restart. And after the restart, the variables are visible. Right, so sequence player, I'll use C1F player, sequence NPC, C1F NPC. Right. Okay. Now, let me again again open the character. And here we have this pause sequence, but we are just pausing the dialog tree sequence. So without doing it like that, here when I play the sequence, let's promote this to a function. Oh wait, this is level sequence. Let's implement it through BPI character interface. Because we will need the play sequence function to be called, we will have to call it from the HUD as well. So play sequence, and as an input we need sequence after level sequence reference sequence. So yeah, I know this code is kind of all over the place. We may have to do some refactoring and reorganize the code, but let's keep going like this for now. Right, now let's implement. Did I remember this? Okay. Play sequence event like this. Actually, this is what we need here. If this is valid, we can get the sequence player and play. And let's promote this to a variable. Current sequence. So when we want to pause, we can use the current sequence. If it is valid, we can stop. Let's use the stop current time. Oh wait, no. What did we have before? Pause, yeah. We need pause. Right, now here let's call play sequence with the main sequence. We should have used something like main sequence here, but I'll not rename it now because when I do some changes to the dialog tree, it doesn't reflect in here unless I restart. Right. And what else? I'll get rid of this focus function because I'm not using it anymore. Where else I'm using focus? we just this ones. Let's skip it. And under choices, when we play, actually we don't need this focus actor input now because we are not using the focus function anymore in here, but we're using facial animations. Alright, for that we still need, yeah. So when we focus on the player, let's call play sequence so here as the input we need to give the sequence that focus on the player character. Where can I get it? Here we only have current choices. We have the dialog tree. Right. So I am only interested in sequence player and sequence NPC. And after this part is done, here we play the sound or the part where the NPC character talks. So that's why NPC is the focus character here, focus actor here. So let's call again play sequence on the NPC. With sequence NPC. Right. Shall we check?
Does it really matter? I just want to leave. Please, have mercy.
Okay. Why am I not continuing to the next part? Why didn't I go to the next step of the dialogues? Let me skip this camera changes for now and see what happens.
Does it really matter, young girl? I just want to leave. Please, have mercy.
Right. So does it really matter? This is the dialogue after who are you, and then the next dialogue is 3, 4, 5. That means we should see again the same dialogues. Four, 5. Alright, actually no, I was wrong. That was the end of the dialogue. So yeah, let me reconnect. Sorry about that. Okay, now after the dialogue is done, what I need to do is I should stop the sequence and get back on the gameplay. So for that, let's add another function. Stop sequence. Get the current sequence. If it is valid, let's call it stop at current time. And let's call it here. Stop sequence. Talk.
What happened to you? What happened to you?
There is a problem in this animation.
It's a long story, Peter, and you have very little time. Please, don't let my experience fool you, and choose wise.
Why it's not stopped? No, wait a minute. This is the design. So if I select here straight. Okay, so actually there is a problem. The problem is here when I select talk as the option, so as the next dialogues I should see option 1, 6 and 10. That means who are you, and 6 means don't be afraid, and 10 means what happened to you. Those are the 3 questions I should see initially, but that's not what happens here. So why is that happening? Let's add some debug print lines here. Let's print here. Let's print the label of the selected choice. I'll keep it for 20 seconds. I'm going to select 1, so I should see 1 talk, right? So after I select talk, why do I get straight, disturb, doubtful? That's the problem, right? So this is what happens here. When I select a choice, I do get to in this get current choices function, I get the next set of choices I have, and here I added a print to show what are the next choices I'm gonna have. So now if I select top, you see in the output log here, you see after top we see 1610, which is the correct set of choices for the talk 1610, and then I get 345 and 345 as well. That is the choices or next dialogues for Who Are You. So how does that happen? So the only way that happens is, I think this choice select, this init choice and select function is called multiple times. That's the only way it can happen. Oh wait, no. Yeah. So to check if that is the case, here I'll add a print choice selected. Let's do this in red and keep it for 12 seconds. Oh no, that happens only once, right? Oh wait, another place where this could be going wrong is, this is a PO function and I am getting this output here and this output here, and again after 1.5 seconds this output here. So what I'm thinking is, maybe this function is called twice or maybe more than one time. So what I can do is, we can promote these choice texts also to a variable, choices strings, not text, right? And then use that. Right, shall we try it now? Still no, not right, not correct. Right, then let's remove this PO part. Right, now it is working. So we have three options: who are you, don't be afraid, what happened to you, those things. So I'll select who are you.
Who are you?
Does it really matter, young girl? I just want to leave. Please, have mercy.
Now we should get the next set of choices. Straight or disturbed, doubtful. For that I am not getting any output. Let's try again with another option.
Who are you?
Does it really matter, young girl? I just want to leave. Please, have mercy.
Right. For the next choices, let me select the NPC and check what I should be getting. So straight answer. For that we don't have any next dialogues, but I should get this. I don't have time for your riddles. This is the output I should get when I select one, but nothing happens. What could be the reason? Alright, here we check the next dialogue's length. Only if I have next dialogues I play these, but for the final responses or final choices we don't have any next dialogues. So but still we should play the current dialogue, so we should use this condition check in here. And we should play these parts regardless of we have any next dialogues or not. So that means this must be connected here. And if we don't have any, we can simply connect it here. So the sequence will be stopped and we will return to the game. Let's see if I'm correct.
Who are you?
Does it really matter, young girl? I just want to leave. Please, have mercy.
Look, I don't have time for a riddle. Either you tell me what you need, or you go.
Sequence didn't play correctly. Why? But the dialogue continued, so that's good news. So play sequence. Do we have play from start? or do we have to stop the current one? Stop sequence, call current sequence.
Does it really matter, young girl? I just want to leave. Please, have mercy.
Look, I don't have time for a race. Either you tell me what you need, or I will go.
Just follow your way. Until you find her.
Right, that worked. But in the final part, the character was not focused on the sequence. The camera was not focused on the NPC. What could be the reason? When we play sequence, I think we should start it from the beginning, but when we just call play, it is starting from the current time cursor position. So set time how to restart. Set set playback position. Let's try giving 0.
Does it really matter, young girl? I just want to leave. Please, have mercy.
And engine crashed. Let me restart. Is this the problem? here again I think we have to split this one also. Right, set everything to 0. Now this should work. Shall we try?
Does it really matter, young girl? I just want to leave. Please, have mercy.
What do you mean to choose? To choose from what?
When you find him, you will understand.
Right, now this time it worked properly. So alright, okay, and thanks for watching. So as always, project files will be available for the download in the Patreon page. Link would be in the description below, and if you like to support my work, you can get the membership of the Patreon club. See you in another episode. Goodbye.